Hi, and welcome to this demonstration of the EDGY approach in EVA. EDGY is a new collaborative enterprise design approach which has emerged in recent years and which is rapidly gaining ground across Europe, North America, Canada, and other regions. At Inspired, which I lead and where I'm the chief architect, uh, we have decided to support EDGY in our enterprise modeling and knowledge management platform, EVA. Once we enter EVA, we will be presented with the EDGY dashboard, and you can see that we have the EDGY logo at the top of the screen. Clicking on that will take us to the display you see on the right, which is the official EDGY site. There you can get details on the EDGY approach, the background to the method, where it's come from, what the facets are that it covers, and how the approach works. We also can get details about how to use the specific support in EVA by clicking the README button over there, and that'll take you to a web page where we detail some of the things you'll need to know to use the evaluation system. You can also get further help if you click on any of the content names or the concept names in the dashboard. These will take you to the definitions in EDGY, such as clicking here. That'll take you to the content item in the identity facet, and that'll give you a description of how that is seen and used in the EDGY approach. If you need a bit more room to view items on the right, you can always collapse the dashboard, use the space, and then simply bring it back when you're ready. Any of the words above the concept icons will take you to the relevant sections in the EDGY site. This will also apply down here for these more generic concepts at the bottom. Okay, once we're in the dashboard, we can select concepts of interest. So, for example, if we wanted to see the organizational entities, we could click on organization, get a list of organizations. In this case, it's been structured as a hierarchy, and we can see items in the organization over there. Our example is a training company operating out of London, Brussels, Dubai, and so on. The items in the list can be organized into hierarchies, as we see. This would also apply to something like capabilities, where we can expand a capability hierarchy, or they can also be grouped or sorted. For example, here we've chosen for business assets to allow them to be grouped by business processes, or in fact, we could also group them by business capability. And we could see here that if we want to develop a training course, we need the asset of computer infrastructure. If we want to provide online training, we will need information technology infrastructure, etc. When we want to see details about an item, we can click on it here, and that will bring up relevant details on the right-hand side, including properties as well as relationships. If you wanted to see any related items, you could simply click on the item there and get a pop-up of its details and its relationships. There's no limit to the number of levels that we can drill down in this manner if we wish. When we talk about the details that we can view for an item, these can include some quite rich content. For example, if I look over here, I've loaded a slide of contact details over there, and again we can get more space if we want to. So we can have rich content like images, pictures. We can have things like websites. Let me see if we have such a thing here. Yes, we have a website, and we can launch links to external content or content in your intranet, for example. We can also have documents such as presentations, PDFs, etc., etc. We can as well have alternate views of some content, which I will show you a little later with models. You can also have discussions, for example, for the EDGY story over here. One of the properties we've chosen to have is to have a discussion capability, and here we could open that discussion, see the previous thread that was captured, create a new discussion, and add our 2 cents worth and post that new thread, and that will generate a threaded discussion where we can collaborate and give our opinions and evolve the models in the system. We can also have new items generated. Clicking here will generate a form for creating a new item of the selected type. We can fill in the properties. We can relate items simply by saying we would like this to be registered as being written by certain organization. That'll present us with the organizations. We can select the relevant one and we're done. We can also add new documents. For example, if I wanted to add a new version of that contact details, I could simply drag a new version of this file over this one, and the system would version the old one, install the new one, and keep track of them in that way. When we need further help, we can, of course, consult the relevant documentation here. And we also have the ability to launch other types of views from the dashboard. Here we've got the different EDGY facets: identity, architecture, and experience. So you might want to work with related items in a consolidated view. And a good way to do that is a canvas. So if we click on the facet, we'll be taken to a canvas with the relevant concepts. And in there we can select items, see their detail. We can also add items to the canvas, create new items in the canvas, and we can also see which items are related in the canvas. If we hover, we'll see that this particular purpose or goal requires a certain organization to take action, and it is relevant to a certain brand. So we can also create relationships by dragging something from here to an item, and if there is a relationship that can be created there, then it makes sense and it will allow us to connect them. So at the moment, the education story, yeah, it is connected to the education company. Okay, so in here we can explore a variety of different canvases. We have canvas for the architecture facet, the experience canvas, and the identity canvas. The experience canvas, for example, would let us see all the things relevant to brand, customer marketing, customer journey, channels, product, etc. To get back to our dashboard, we just click dashboard, and that'll take us straight back where we were, and we can continue to work with other concepts. Now, EDGY provides a rich set of modeling concepts, but the EVA platform also provides additional features. For example, there is a built-in report writer where we could go and create reports and launch those, and these can be stored and replayed as necessary with new data. We also have the ability to store models, graphical models, and work with those. So for example, we could do a model here. This is metadata about the model. We have the ability to view items with different perspectives. So I could also view that model in a graphical form, and we can create a great variety of models using the EVA graphical modeler. We also have the ability to create custom analysis views. So for example, we can go and see a nested view of capabilities and assets supporting those capabilities. We could also see, for example, a matrix where we've taken 3 concepts and related business capabilities to being realized by a business process which is owned by a given business unit. And that gives us the ability to relate 3 different concepts. And we can do this for any elements in the modeling space. Again, these elements all remain hyperlinked, so I could drill down to detail. I could amend details if I'm authorized. So it's a very interactive way to work with our data. We also can work with hierarchies and see things in that way. So I'm going to look at a hierarchy of business capabilities. We can choose a variety of properties to translate to colors, and that can help to give us a status, for example, of business capabilities as we've surveyed them. So here's a business capability model, the green indicating things which are very happy, the amber indicating things which may need some attention, and we've got one red item which is showing very poor performance over there. Again, these are hyperlinked. We could drill down, get detail, work with the individual items, etc. Okay. Now we can also extend from the EDGY world in different ways using other capabilities of the EVA platform. That would allow us to get into adjacent domains. For example, if you wanted to link your business view to an application system portfolio view, to a data modeling view, to a project management view, these can all be supported in the EVA environment. So I hope you've been intrigued by this very brief exposure. And if you want to know more, please consult us, look at our other video content, or maybe contact us using the contact details as you see in the system and coming up on screen now. Thanks very much for your attention. Have a good day. Cheers.